Hi, I'm D. Naidu and welcome to Tipsy Time. Hi guys and welcome back to another episode of Tipsy Time. Today we are making fish biryani. This is one of my favorite dishes ever. I've been eating fish biryani and enjoying it for over 20 years now. And I've tasted many. I've been to all the best places in Durban, Johannesburg, and obviously the best ones for my grandmom and my mother. I've also been to India and tasted quite a few varieties from the north of India right down to the south. But today you guys are going to get my fish biryani. I've taken all that knowledge that I've got, all the different tastes that I've had from all the India ones, Durban ones, my mom, grandmom, and I've made my own version of a fish biryani. So today, guys, get ready for the Tipsy Chef's fish biryani. Okay, so we have a lovely Cape salmon, which I've got cut up into about 1.5 inch thickness, because I like it nice and big. I don't want it to just all fall away. So we're going to start with our first fish marinade. First we're going to get in some salt. Some black pepper. I love black pepper, so quite a lot. I've got about a teaspoon of turmeric powder, a teaspoon of Kashmiri chili powder, or a teaspoon and a half, sorry, of Kashmiri chili powder. And I've got some of my famous Pride of Durban fish masala, 2 teaspoons of that. And some ginger garlic paste, 2 teaspoons, and a bit. And last, the juice of 1.5 lemon. Get that in. I'm going to give that a good mix. Coat this up properly. Get everything coated, the fish coated with all our spice mixes. Okay, I've got Cape salmon today. This is the freshest fish I could find at the places I have available to me. However, I really like to make this with kabeljau, and mussel cracker is actually probably my favorite fish. But you guys can choose whatever fish you find nice, and as long as it's nice and fresh. That's the important part. Okay, so that's all done, and we're going to let this marinate for about 30 minutes and then we can continue. Okay, we're going to start with our rice. I'm using long grain basmati rice. So there have been a lot of people that ask me how to cook basmati rice, because a lot of them had some problems and it ended up in a big mush. So the trick is, you need to wash your rice, your basmati rice, about 4 times to get rid of all the starch. Then you got to let it soak in cold water for 30 minutes minimum. And then we'll continue with the next step now. Okay, so I've got about 1 liter of water. I'm using 2 cups of long grain basmati rice. So to that we're going to add a thyme seed, about 2 or 3 cloves, bay leaves, 2 cinnamon sticks, 2 cardamoms, about a teaspoon of cumin seeds, a teaspoon of ghee. If you don't have ghee, you can use oil. And then lastly, salt. So what we're going to wait now, we're going to wait for this to reach a boil, and then we're going to get in our rice. So this is our basmati rice that I've soaked for half an hour. You can see it's got a lot whiter and a little bit fuller. Okay, so our water's come to a boil, and we're going to get in our soaked basmati rice now. It should stop the boiling process. It's perfect. This will now cook for about 8 to 10 minutes, because we want it 80% done for our biryani, but 15 minutes if you're actually just cooking this rice to eat it with another dish. So the rice has been going now for about 3 to 4 minutes. So I just want to give it a slight mix, and you got to do this gently with the back of the spoon. Just do the back and forth action. to get it there, and we'll check on it in another 4 minutes. We should be ready. Okay, it's been 8 minutes and our rice is about 80% done, so I'm going to get this off the stove, drain off the water and keep it aside. So I've thinly sliced up some onion and we got that into some butter or ghee, and we're going to fry this down until they're nice golden brown. So this is how your onions should look after they're fried. We want a nice golden crispy color. Okay, so now we get onto our potatoes, which we are going to salt, and let's just give it a dice up here. And as you can see, I cut it up in discs because, as I said, it's my style biryani. So this is how I like it when I layer it. And just add a bit of color just to make it look a bit pretty. Okay, so I got my butter and vegetable oil up to the temperature I want it. To that I'm going to add in some thyme leaves, and then we'll get our potatoes in. I add the thyme into the butter so we get a nice thyme flavor in the potatoes, which is really yummy. This is another reason why it's my fish biryani. I'm adding little tweaks to every step. I'm going to fry this till they're nice and crispy. Our potatoes are done now. You can see they're nice and golden brown and crispy on the outside and nice and soft inside. Okay, so now we're going to fry our fish. We also want this just fried to about 80%. So this should be about 3 to 5 minutes. Okay, so this batch is done. It's about 80% cooked. Smells incredible. Can't wait to eat it. So I'm going to get these out onto the draining rack just to get rid of some of the excess oil, and I'll put in my next batch. Okay, our next step is actually making our chutney or biryani mixture. I'm going to add the oil that I fried the fish in, some of the crispy bits that fell off the fish as well. And to that I'm going to add in some fennel seed, a chili, then some cumin seeds, a bay leaf, and some curry leaves. Then a quick mix. Now that it's popping nicely, add in a chopped onion. Okay, now that our onions are looking a bit translucent, this is another little trick. It's actually came from my mom. I like to add to my fish biryani. It's basically dried shrimps. So I'm going to add a few of those in. Not too much. This is not actually to eat. It's just to give an extra dimension of flavor. Give that a quick mix. You'll immediately smell that dried shrimpy smell. It's a bit strong at the moment, but as this dish cooks through, it's just perfect. Next we're going to add in a heaped teaspoon of ginger garlic paste. Actually a heaped teaspoon and a half. You just want that ginger and garlic to cook out a bit. Then I've got my spice mix. I've got some Kashmiri chili powder, a tablespoon of biryani masala. This is from Pride of Devon, it's amazing. I've got half a teaspoon of cardamom powder, a teaspoon of cumin powder, a teaspoon of coriander powder, a teaspoon of garam masala, and half a teaspoon of turmeric powder. I'm going to add that in now. Roast it off a bit. Smells amazing. And I think it's time for our tomatoes now. So I've got about 5 big tomatoes that I've blended up. Just make sure that We get all our masala mixture into the tomato mix here. Next we'll add some salt to taste. Not too much because we've actually salted the fish. A bit of sugar to balance acidity. And a mix. Drop our heat to a medium-low heat. Next we're going to get to our herbs. So we're going to start with half a bunch of mint chopped up. And half a bunch of coriander chopped up. And then this is what makes it my one. I've got maybe 5 to 10 grams of dill which I've chopped up. I'm adding that. That's something different, but I feel dill gives a lot of flavor to the fish. That mix. Okay, so now we'll let this cook on a low heat for 10 minutes, and then we'll move on to our next step. Okay, so it's been cooking for 10 minutes now. It's perfect. I'm going to add 250 ml of double cream yogurt, and we'll give that a mix through. We can also pick up our heat now. Okay, so next we're going to get in our fish. We're going to let this simmer on low heat for another 10 to 15 minutes. Okay, this is looking all ready, and it's now time to lay our biryani. Start with some potatoes. And then some of our onions that we fried earlier. You notice I don't use lentils when I make this biryani. I just feel it's not required for this. I love how the basmati rice sucks up that fragrant gravy of the fish masala that we got at the bottom here, and the lentils are not required, but you can if you want to. Okay, we're going to save some of the onions for the top. Next we'll get our rice in. Be quite gentle with this rice as you're putting it in, because you don't want it to break up. The temperamental basmati rice. Handle with care. Okay, so I've got some saffron milk. So it's saffron and in some warm milk. And we're going to add that now on the top. Let's place it there. It's going to give it some color and lots of wonderful flavor. And we're going to get more of our onion. And we're going to garnish this with some mint leaves, some coriander leaves. We'll put a little bit of color just in certain spots just to give it a beautiful color. Enough. And we're going to finish that with some ghee. Clarified butter. Don't be shy, this is the yummy stuff. Okay, so we're going to foil this up now. This is my version of doing a dum biryani. So this heavyweight foil will seal it up nicely, so you can do it steaming in the oven. It's going to get popped into the oven for 15 to 20 minutes, preheated on 180 degrees Celsius, and then we're ready to taste. Let's give it a peek. There's a lot of smoke, steam actually. It smells and looks amazing.
The thing that I love about this dish is the amazing aroma that fills the house, and obviously that whole steaming process that happens. Okay, the potato there, a nice piece of fish, and then just to get the color of the rice. This shows you how much the gravy sort of really seeped through all the way to the top. Okay, you can see that the fish is still nice and soft. There goes. So good. It's a little bit tangy from the tomato, the tomato-based gravy and the yogurt. But then it's got that nice potato, which has this nice wholesome, soft, comforting flavor. And then of course that basmati rice, which is light and fluffy and delicious. Perfect combination, perfect meal.